So welcome to our peer share call. Today we'll be talking about capital ideas, so some exciting events coming up. I think we'll start with introductions. So we're going to leave the mute button control up to you so that you can mute yourself when you're not talking, so that we don't get feedback. And then when you'd like to share, please join in. We will just go through, and if you could say your name, what program you're with, and then one quick highlight from this month, from National Mentoring Month, something that has already happened for you or that is yet to happen. And some of you might share via the chat if you don't have audio or a mic, and that is fine as well. Okay, let's see. Let's start with Bailey. If you are able to have audio. Or if not, you can go ahead and type in chat, Bailey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay. So I am Bailey Cosmore, and I am from the Not Alone Youth Mentoring Program at Mills County Public Health. One highlight for National Mentoring Month, next Friday we are doing a mentor appreciation dinner event. So we'll be serving dinner and passing out awards. So we decided to do that during National Mentoring Month.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Anna, and it looks like Anna might be sharing via chat, which is great. And while we're waiting for that to come through, Jessica.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Jessica Prazak from One-on-One Mentoring in Cerro Gordo County. One thing we are doing to celebrate National Mentoring Month, we're actually taking a bunch of our kids to Get Air on Martin Luther King Day, and then on the bus ride there, we're doing like thank your mentor postcards, or they can write letters too. And then if they're not coming on the trip, we have time set up later after the 20th, so they can complete those and either send them in the mail or give them in person to their mentor.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Thank you for sharing. And Anna. Okay. From Everybody Wins Iowa. And they will be passing out certificates from the governor and having city council people come and pass those out. Great way to get local people involved. Based in Des Moines, and have programs in West Des Moines, Pella, Perry, Indianola, and Norwalk. Great, thank you, Anna. Kathy.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Kathy Schwartzoff from Helping Services for Youth and Families. And we have been super busy with National Mentoring Month stuff, and the good part is with all that promotion, we have had like 3 inquiries, and it's only the 9th of the month, so we're hoping that that keeps up. And tomorrow we anticipate getting our first mentor application for the month, so that's exciting.
Good. Great, thanks, Kathy. Kim.
Hi, everybody. This is Kim Leininger, and I'm from Shenandoah, Iowa. I apologize for my voice. Hasn't been normal for about a month now. But our program, our May mentoring program, has some other extensions of our program too. But we've already had 2 programs on the radio interviews and a really nice story in the paper, and we're going to have another one. And next week we're planning a chamber and industry coffee photography that will highlight mentoring, and we're super excited to have Mary join us for that. So I'm really excited.
Wonderful. Thank you. Let's see, Val?
Yes, I'm Val Maximovich from Independence Community Schools mentoring program. And we are having a chef come on January 23rd to talk about how to prepare food and find what's in your cupboard and make it into a meal. And that was through a grant from our local bank for a community education grant. And so we're excited about that. And he has a child himself, so he's very focused on safety, things that they can figure out for themselves and be very hands-on. So we're very excited about that. And we'll do the usual news releases, community events, try to keep up with some of those things, and do thank yous in the local paper and the church bulletins.
Wonderful. I think we should start every call this way. It's just very, love hearing everything. And then Angie, it looks like Angie joined us as well.
I have to unmute myself. I guess just the name of my program is STARS Mentoring. We're a school-based program, and we always try to recognize our mentors with some type of thank you event. So like this year, we're gonna have a coffee time on the 29th from 4:30 to 7:30 and treat the mentors to coffee and cookies and just some networking.
Great. Thank you for sharing.
And all of these great things you guys are doing this month, we would love to share on our social media and also highlight in newsletters. So if you want to shoot a message to either Nicole, this is Mary, or me, we'd love to share your work that you're doing too. And even if it's just check out our Facebook page, our Vista follows every programs on Facebook. But if you just want to make sure that we are catching a particular event that you did, and those news articles or just your own internal photos, anything, we're happy to share all the great things that you guys are doing to celebrate this month.
Great. Okay, so today we're going to talk about some more exciting events that are coming up in the next couple of months. We have lots of save the dates put on your calendar. So we'll be talking about the Mentoring Month proclamation signing at the Capitol here in Des Moines. February 11th, Volunteer Iowa Day at the Capitol. And then April 21st, your Iowa Awards, including the Excellence in Mentoring and the Volunteer Hall of Fame. So that's what we're going to be sharing some more information about. So the first one for National Mentoring Month is the governor will be signing a proclamation declaring it Mentoring Month for the state of Iowa on January 23rd at 3:30 in the afternoon. We think that's a great time as it might allow some programs that are close enough that everyone and anyone is welcome to join us for this. And we definitely love to have mentors and mentees come as well. It's kind of a neat chance for people to be in the Capitol and have a chance to meet the governor and to celebrate Mentoring Month across the state of Iowa. If you are able to come or would like more information or have any questions, you can reach out to me by email or by phone.
And just a reminder that that proclamation language, I know a lot of you do local proclamations too. Mentor has one nationally that we adapted for the state one, but we're happy to share proclamation language with you. Like I said, I know a lot of you do those things locally with cities and county governments. I just really encourage you to do that. It's a way to engage your local elected officials. And I know a lot of you get funding locally too. So it's just a reminder to them that of all the good work you do. So Volunteer Iowa Day at the Capitol is coming up February 11th. And this is obviously includes the Iowa Mentoring Partnership as well. And this is a day for all of the Volunteer Iowa programs to come together collectively and for all the mentoring programs to be there and just communicate about the good work that we're doing across the state. It is about the policies and funding that helps support the Iowa Mentoring Partnership, and it's very helpful for you as a program to come and talk about your own program, and so legislators can see on the ground what difference that's making in the community that they support our organization, who can in turn support your organization. So this is just a little bit overview of the day that we have a room that we can congregate in, but participants, meaning you from your program, and that can be you, board members, mentors, mentees again too. I realize that the travel for these events is a challenge for programs that are further away from Des Moines, but if at all possible, it's been a great experience when matches were able to attend to and do a tour of the Capitol and meet the legislators. It's a great experience for the youth, and it's a great experience for the legislator too, to have a face to know who your programs are serving. So you meet with the legislators and you're just educating them about your program and also helping them realize how your program fits in with the Iowa Mentoring Partnership. Like I said, we have this room reserved, this space, but there's no set time that you need to meet with the legislator. You can meet with them throughout the day, however your schedule allows and whatever their schedule allows as well.
So another way to engage with your legislators that day, if you are not able to set up an appointment ahead of time with them, they do have these call out forms that are available that can help you track down your legislator. So to let them know that you are in the building and as one of their, that you're ready to see them. So you can see the pictures from the past. It's pretty, they make it very accessible. They have all the information right outside the chambers here with the pictures and the names and these forms that you fill out and hand to the page, and they will track down your legislator for you. So as Mary mentioned, you know, ideally it's if you can make contact ahead of time and set something up, that's one way, but then there's also this other way on the day to try to connect with them. And programs have had a lot of success with that in the past. So if you are able to travel and join us that day, Volunteer Iowa is putting on a webinar ahead of time on January 27th at 11:30, which will go over in more detail what to expect that day and has helpful tips and hints for advocating. Also, if you register, you will receive kind of a participant handbook that has all of the logistics as far as parking and maps. So kind of those questions about how does this work on the actual day of will all be answered. So even if that 11:30 time, if you have another commitment, please do, if you're going to attend, please register for it. So then you will have access to the slides and the recording and that participant handbook. And if you are able to come for the day of, there's another registration for the actual event, and we want each participant that's coming to register individually. So even if you are coming with a colleague, there's 2 of you coming from your program, please have each person register individually.
Oh, so we have some programs that we're going to share their experiences from previous years being at the Capitol. And one participant who's been there several years is Ellen Krogman from Helping Services for Youth and Families in Delaware County. And Ellen shared some information on a couple slides here, and I don't see that she's on the call. So you can look at her lovely picture and listen to my voice. I will not read this to you, but she has some tips about communicating with legislators ahead of time. And some of this information we will, as Nicole said, we'll reiterate in the toolkit when you sign up to participate. But connect with them ahead of time and let them know if you're bringing a guest, if you have other board members or mentors or mentees or other staff coming, and ask them to visit and find out what time frame works for them. And then at the day of the event, she has some good tips. Be there when you say you're going to be there, and make sure you're there for the appointment. Make good eye contact, just be prepared so that you have your little spiel about what you want to say about your program. Share a mentoring match story that will touch their heart is really important. We can give them all the facts and figures, but you guys really putting a human picture on that local mentoring is really helpful. Make sure you get a photo with your legislator and make sure you get quotes for them so that you can share in your social media or with however you share your information about your program. And legislators love to share your pictures as well, so make sure you get that photo. Make sure you bring some information about your program, and Ellen has highlighted some information that would be helpful for legislators to know about. Something that you can leave behind. They meet with a lot of constituents, but you are the expert on your program and you're the expert on youth mentoring because you're the person they're going to hear from. So if you're not there to tell them about mentoring, there's going to be a void. She has some tips about media. Your local newspapers are usually looking to run stories, so just send them the information. They'll probably, a lot of them will run exactly what you send them with your photo, and if you write up a little blurb about the day. And using the quotes that you got from the legislator. And then obviously make sure that you follow up and email thank you. And especially if there was a particular ask and you might invite them to your program or invite them to a future event, just make sure you follow up with them too and get that scheduled, and you can meet them back in your community, which I know a lot of you are doing anyway.
Great. And then Kathy was also going to share a little bit about her experience from the past. Kathy?
Yes. Mine looks a lot like, or sounds a lot like Ellen's, from the sense that we are there a lot. And we really do enjoy this day because it's a wonderful opportunity to touch base with those legislators. And one thing I want to really emphasize to people is these folks, even though they are in the political realm, they are dads, grandpas, moms, you know, come from every walk of life. And just remember that they're people, and don't get too hung up on that they're legislators and get all upset. So that's kind of my overriding kind of suggestion. But just some brief points here to plan ahead. Like Ellen said, send an email. I used to do letters, but emails is just as helpful. Telling the legislators you are coming, this is the day you're coming, here's about the time you're be in the building, and then from there ask them what time they're available, so you can start trying to get a two-way conversation versus just here's an informational kind of thing. And sometimes too, we ask the legislator, depending on who they are and kind of our track record with them, sometimes we ask them for a tour, because they can take us places that sometimes the other regular tour guides can't take us. Plus, we hear it from their perspective, and they're our elected official. And I think it's just really wonderful if you know, have that opportunity to do that. And it is very different being in the Senate than it is in the House of Representatives. And they have stories to tell too. So that's kind of interesting. But definitely do that planning ahead, and send that initial email saying, hey, this is when I'm coming, ask a question that gets them started coming back, and then confirm again either the day before, or even I've done on the way down, if I'm not driving, I'll even send a confirmation email saying today's the day I'm coming. If I'm driving, I obviously do it before that, and just say, hey, tomorrow's the day we're coming, and that kind of thing, just to confirm everything. And also sometimes they give you their staff person's phone number, and you can text them or whatever they direct you to do, and then that's what you do. And just to how Nicole was talking about that call out type of thing, we also do that as well, because we can have, and the legislator can all have the best of intentions of trying to meet at the specific time that we've said, but something happens in their day that they have to go to a committee meeting or whatever that is. And so you just have to learn to be flexible but also keep your phone with you so you can see if they text you and they're available and that kind of thing. So we are also doing that. So it's not just that we send that email and don't do the call out. We do both because that's kind of part of the process. And as Ellen said, create a handout for them. A one pager is great. Make sure there's a picture on there of either a match or something that happened at an event or something that, you know, is that vibrant piece that they can look at. And also some statistics, but also those, be ready to tell those stories like Ellen said. And one of my other points too later on is if you can bring a mentor or a mentee, that's wonderful. And I'll tell you, last year I brought a mentee and mentor, and the mentee did a better job of talking about mentoring than I do. Just because she could tell her story. And she was the best at telling it. And it was just, you know, the legislators even said, you do a wonderful job talking to the mentee. Because she was in speech and stuff like that. And they said, we can tell because you're comfortable talking to people. And so that was pretty much an honor that they recognized that she's a leader, and she kind of walked out of that Capitol a little taller that day because of that. And kind of related to that too, as my third point says, practice your speech. And I'm not saying that it should be long, because actually you have very few minutes with legislators sometimes. And I've even done it where they're going to a committee meeting and I say, may I walk with you? And I don't stop, I just keep going and tell them whatever that you need to share with them about your program, share that story, share that statistic, share what they can do to help you. And then snap that photo and make sure you've got a minute with them. And my last point is just take it all in. And that just speaks to the idea that the Capitol is a beautiful building. Also, our legislative process is pretty darn cool. And we also need to be aware of that. That's part of life, you know, that we should take it all in and really, you know, love the building, love the people, and enjoy the whole process.
Mic drop. Thank you, Kathy. That was all wonderful. And just, yeah, what a great empowering story about your mentee. But just as you shared that, you know, your mentee can really tell a powerful story because she's participating in the program. You guys are much better talking about your programs than us as, you know, the state agency too. So I really appreciate a lot of your tips. Just remember that legislators are real people. And also that, you know, we can say politics is ugly, blah, 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 but we are part of that democracy, and this is democracy in action. And look at that smile on Kathy's face. I know it's not at the Capitol, but it is empowering for all of us to be there and to be taking part in this democracy. If you have questions about, you know, any of this, we're there on that day to, you know, all of our staff is, and we have commissioners, and we have a lot of experienced folks from mentoring programs across the state. Others on the call as well that can offer, you know, can guide you that day too. So don't be intimidated by the process. They're just people, and they will not know about mentoring unless you're there to tell them about mentoring.
Does anyone have any questions right now? Please unmute yourself if you do, or if you have attended as well in the past and have anything that you would like to share, you can do that now. So any questions or any advice to give?
Well, if there aren't questions right now, I just encourage you to register for the webinar at the end of the month, and then also sign up for the actual day at the Capitol. Those were both in the newsletter that just came out, and we'll send out the slides as well. So other exciting Capitol event coming up is on April 21st. It's the Volunteer Iowa Award Ceremony, which includes 2 awards that day, 2 types of awards. The Excellence in Mentoring Awards, which most of our programs are pretty familiar with. We just want to remind you about that. But also the Volunteer Hall of Fame, which we haven't really promoted as much to mentoring programs. So we want to make sure that you think about that. If you have an outstanding volunteer for a long time in your program, that might be a good candidate for that award. And we'll also talk about that at that day. We're going to have the opportunity for programs, all volunteer programs may bring displays for the Capitol Rotunda. That is something we've done in the past at the day at our day at the Capitol, but it's not necessarily effective for us educating legislators. We can just go up and meet with them just as easily. And for some of our policy positions, we meet with committees and do that specifically. But we thought that this would be a nice way to highlight the programs with offering the displays at the award ceremony on the 21st. It will, I think it will just add to the awards and just recognize, you know, all the programs that are involved in the Volunteer Hall of Fame and Excellence in Mentoring. So the reminder about the Excellence in Mentoring Award, the nominations are open and they're due the 21st. That again was in the newsletter. You can see some of our past winners. These were last year's award winners. And just want you to really think about your outstanding mentors in your program. And there's just an overall what the Excellence in Mentoring Award is about. And that they need to have at least mentored for 2 years with your program. And you'll share their compelling story about how they've made a difference in the life of a young person. The criteria are these 4 different areas, and that is on the application. And again, we'll send these out as well. But I just really want to encourage you when you're writing your application to make sure you'll have to talk about all these areas, but to really give some good details and write a strong application so that you're telling us about your great mentor. And Kim is on the call here. I asked Kim if she would, has successfully nominated folks that have been honored before. And everyone has great mentors in the program, but you also have to write a good application. So I asked her if she would share some tips with other programs about writing a good application. So Kim, if you wanted to tell us a little bit about your experience.
Okay, sure. It's just really an honor to write about our mentors. I know many people have a lot of great mentors, and I guess what I kind of look for when I'm kind of choosing, which is it's really hard to single out people, but you know, I try to look at people that are fully engaged, very reliable and responsible, and that's not hard to choose. But I think the key in writing the application is to be very specific about what they have done as a mentor with their mentee, what they have done above and beyond, obviously, but just the impact that they have. And I guess engagement is the big thing that comes to my mind. A lot of mentors are very good mentors and they're very reliable, but there's some mentors that are just more engaged than others in terms of in our program coming to our group activities routinely, coming to mentor trainings routinely, helping with fundraisers or helping with publicity, helping recruit other mentors. So those specific things that a mentor might do are really good to include in the application, and especially maybe a story very specifically about the relationship of the mentor and the mentee, how they relate to each other, how the mentee has helped them, what maybe some of the challenges are. I guess overall, just as specific as you can be about why you feel they're deserving of the Excellence in Mentoring Award. And I do know that many programs have wonderful, outstanding mentors, but in your heart what they do. But when you're trying to tell that story to other people, it is important to be really specific and share as much as you can about their engagement, about what they do, again, above and beyond. It starts with being just a reliable, consistent mentor, but there's a lot of mentors who go, past that step to do more for the program. Sometimes it involves financial contributions, but I guess more than anything is someone who represents your program. So you want to tell how they do that, why you're proud of them as a mentor, why they're helpful to you as a coordinator, maybe just those type of things. So, the summary is just very detailed and very specific things so that people can kind of paint a picture of what that mentor is like for your program.
Thanks, Kim. I mean, the review committee loves reading these applications, but they do only know what you provide for us. And it is hard to select based on they made a difference in their youth life. That doesn't tell us a whole lot, or they improved their schoolwork. Well, tell us they had a C average improved to a B average, or they helped with recruitment. What does that mean? They put on, they talked to their Rotary and we got 3 new members from just their one Rotary meeting. Just be really specific and show how they're helping with all of the areas of your program. So we really look forward to some great applications. And if you have any questions about that or just need help finding the form or anything, just tell them we'll get that to you, because that deadline is coming up really quickly and we want to have some great honorees this year as well.
Great. So as Mary mentioned, the other awards that are given that day in conjunction at the same time as the Excellence in Mentoring Awards is the Iowa Volunteer Hall of Fame. So this is the most prestigious state level honor that volunteers can receive. The name of the inductees are added to the Iowa Volunteer Hall of Fame plaque that's on permanent display in the State Historical Museum. The criteria that the reviewers will be looking at for this award, community needs and solutions. So how did the nominees' actions meet or solve a real community need or challenge? And again, I won't read all of this to you, but the same goes for what we were saying about the last nominations, is to be as specific as possible, as this is very competitive and lots of the nominations are, you feel that everyone is deserving. So just to make sure that you are really describing what makes this volunteer, stand out above and beyond all of the other volunteers that are giving so much too. Connection building is another category or criteria that they'll be looking at. And then this one is huge, is the impact. So what impact and benefits resulted from the nominees' activities and efforts. And then distinctive achievements. So was the service provided extraordinary and meaningful? Did the activities completed show innovative or unique approaches to addressing serious social challenges? So same deadline for the Hall of Fame, due by midnight on January 21st. And we have the link to our website where you can find out more detailed information. And then you can also submit these online or mail them in as well.
Yeah, so this award is just really another step above even the Excellence in Mentoring Award. It might be one of your founding board members that has mentored for many, many years too, and has helped in all aspects of your program. And these folks too in your communities, they may be involved in other activities in the community as well too. So I just wanted to highlight this this award, the Iowa Volunteer Hall of Fame, if you have volunteers in your program that would rise to that level.
And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd like to see as many nominations come in.
Yeah, for either award. So just, reach out if you have questions about either one of them. So that is all the information we have to share. If anyone has any questions or comments, we can pause for a minute and we can put that in chat. We're doing all the talking today. I'm glad Kathy broke it up a little bit for us. And I had to pretend I was Ellen. That's not too exciting. So.
And Kim helped us.
And Kim, sorry, Kim. How can we forget that voice, Kim? I appreciate everybody sharing their National Mentoring Month activities as well. Well, we'll give you back some time to get to all this National Mentoring Month activities. Next month, we'll be sharing some information from the National Summit and all the latest trends in mentoring. We have some folks going out to the summit, and we'll bring some of those ideas back to share with folks here. So reach out if you need help with anything this National Mentoring Month or with any of the things we talked about, and hopefully we'll hear lots of folks on the 27th webinar for Day at the Capitol. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one important thing about the tabling. We need someone to help us coordinate that. If we're going to do this and mentoring programs want to be involved, we'd really like to see someone step up and say, yes, I'm interested, because that's something I've been missing. I know folks really want to do that tabling. So if someone wants to really help with that and look at how get programs engaged to table at the April event, we'll be looking for a volunteer to help with that.
Okay, thanks so much, everybody.